We are talking about the Resilient Jenkins again. Lock in. Hello everyone, welcome back, or if you're new here, thank you for being here. I'm Bubs. I do a range from commentary to get ready with me's and just talk about things that pique my interest. I have touched on the Resilient Jenkins quite a few times, and before this video is up, I will make a playlist so that you can just go back and start from the very beginning. My very first video and my other videos do kind of recap the lore and the very beginnings of the Resilient Jenkins. That's not why we're here today. I would not recommend this to you if you have no idea who they are. Go to the playlist and watch from the first video if you really want to follow along timeline-wise. The Resilient Jenkins are a family of 7, and they started out living in a one-bedroom apartment, became extremely controversial when they kept having children, even though they were in dire circumstances and living in extreme poverty and begging the internet for money, but yet still popping out babies. And also the fact that the kids were living in the living room. Things got worse when they were evicted from the apartment and moved into a motel. And over a year later, they are still living in the motel, still doing controversial things, in my opinion, neglecting their children and being downright dirtbags. I mean, a 2-year-old, you've been in a motel for a year and a half, you are living in a one-bedroom apartment with 4 other kids. On top of that, your baby daddy has other kids with other women too. It's extremely messy. I hate these parents. I hate Stephanie and I hate Drew. And the more I research them, the more I figure out about them, the less accountability they have for themselves, the more they feel sorry for themselves, and the more they just become these toxic figures for their children. And it takes a lot for me to say, put a child with another family. It honestly does. Like, I do think that there are serious repercussions to removing a child from a home, but the more I get to know Stephanie and Drew, the more I'm like, please just give these kids a chance, a fighting chance at a normal life. So let's talk about some of the updates on the Resilient Jenkins. So Stephanie has started this new routine where they eat cleaner, go work out, and make the kids tag along with them.
She's like, what a way to wake up, huh, baby? She used to sleep when we walked out the door, and she'd pop up like, what are we doing? I think I've learned that my metabolism is finally slowing. Like, it's always been really, really fast. And like, I ate a double stack burger last night and I'm regretting it. My stomach is not happy. Yeah, I think they think they were. Play with me, I actually did good.
She's trying to get you not to block the camera. Come here, Sissy. No! Come on!
Come on, we need your vocals.
I can't do vocals. I'm not vocal. I can't do vocals. I still supposed to walk the bit.
Okay, you can do it.
Remember what Dad said, just count to 5. Make it just...
Back it up a little bit. You're too close to where people put their mouths. You dare drink that. Go drink the freaking water that's over there.
They talk about wanting to better the children's life, have better routines, and prove to the internet that they are a healthy, functioning family. I have no qualms with making sure the kids get exercise. I honestly think it's something in the age of the internet, in the age of video games, health and exercise and movement is something we all need to be more aware of and should teach our children more about. Like I said, I have no qualms with making sure your kids get exercise. But they are missing what the audience is trying to tell them. Because it does seem like Stephanie is like, oh, you want me to be better? I'm going to be better. I'm going to prove all you guys wrong. But what she is missing is the core element of what her audience and her haters have been trying to get through her thick ass skull. Get out of the motel. You have the resources. You do have the finances to get out of the motel, but you are actively choosing not to get out of that motel. The problem isn't that the kids aren't eating healthy enough. The problem isn't the kids aren't getting enough exercise. It's the way their lifestyle is set up that is wild. It's unhealthy. And no dieting, no exercise, no organization is going to change the fact that the kids are basically living in a broom closet, Stephanie. All those things can come after. The exercise can come after. The eating healthier can come after. What you need to do is be providing a good, stable, healthy environment for your child. And without fixing the core reason, without fixing the core problem, everything else is just smoke and mirrors. You're just putting up smoke and mirrors to say, hey, look, everything's okay, and it's not okay. And excuse me, my cats are playing in a bag. They have openly had conversations about the amount of money that they have spent on devil's lettuce, and it is extraordinary. It is like $400, I think.
From a supportive point of view, but if you haven't caught on to the pattern that every time I do try to bring explanations, people don't care. Like, it doesn't matter how much good I would try to show I'm doing. There's just always going to be reason to say that I'm doing shit wrong. And that is what it is. Also, I find it funny because people will easily cling to details in my videos that they can use to, like, further prove their point that I'm some kind of failure F-up type of person, because they're like, oh, well, you did say in your daily videos on your schedule you're smoking. Right. And I said that's me attempting to keep a routine, and that sometimes things don't happen. There's sometimes that I don't even get to smoke, because to me, it's not even relaxing. You know, where a lot of people are like, I'm going to smoke before I get stuff done. I'm like, I feel like I want to get everything done. And it's like my end of the task reward kind of thing, where it's like, okay, now I can sit down and chill. No different than a cup of wine, you know, glass of wine, whatever. That's something you're not going to sit here and have me admit is an issue. Like, just is this one person who doesn't agree with gardening trying to tell someone what to do with it. And sorry about the noisy background. My baby's teething right now and I'm trying to get her down for her nap. And I don't know, maybe people just don't know what it's like to have credit issues and have debt issues, because it can take people sometimes 3 to 5 years to crawl out of a debt issue and fix their issue and better it. But yet people want to keep telling us, you know, our own timeline, like we're not the ones living it. You think I don't freaking know? It's been nearly 2 years that we've been in here. Bro, I just don't think that people get it. I could never, knowing what I know, be hard on a mom that's in this situation. Every freaking thing I have to do as a mom is a whole extra task because of this fucking situation. And that's not me being like, poor me. It's like me saying, like, dude, I'm living it every day. I damn well know this situation is not fitting for our family, especially my kids. And people want to be like, well, you're just saying that and you're not doing anything about it. bruh, you think that I have half a mind to just close my subscription, because people know that this is the only time that I'm genuinely going to respond, because I have to. It's part of keeping the subscription line open, is responding to people. But generally, I just avoid too much engagement because I'm tired of repeating myself and people just not getting the hint. They still think that somehow they can keep repeating themselves at me and it makes a difference for my situation.
That one. But it is a life-changing amount to someone who is living in a motel. And to say you can't pay rent, and then I'm figuring out that you spend that much money on what's the word? Recreational Satan's lettuce. Yeah, there's a problem. There's a problem. Sorry, there's a problem. And then Drew openly smokes online too, so like y'all can't tell me that they're not partaking, because he's like openly smoking on the internet, which I just don't think is a smart thing to do. Okay. We're going to talk about something that I want your opinion on. I am not a mom, I do not have kids, and on top of that, I especially do not have kids with special needs. So I am definitely the type of person that when someone comes to me and talks to me about these situations, the first thing I tell them is I can never put myself in your shoes. Whatever you're thinking or feeling is completely valid, because I could not imagine the emotional and probably physical toll it takes on the body and the psyche to make sure that a kid who probably really struggles throughout life is getting a full, fulfilling life without them being stressed out or, overwhelmed, etc. But there is something that I saw that I just really wanted to talk about, and that I really didn't know how to feel on it, because when I first saw it, it made me extremely uncomfortable. But now that I'm going to talk about it, I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. But you guys can tell me in the comments what you think.
Stephanie is doubling down on why the motel room is the best environment for her toddler, Atlas, which is the reason why he's always left behind. Yesterday was baby Momo's first birthday, and Stephanie actually took them to an indoor park. It's truly heartbreaking that this baby has spent her entire first year of life in a motel room. At least she had some great stimulation on her birthday, playing around in the ball pit, but there's still a problem with this picture because she left her toddler behind. And the reason for it is because she says he's autistic. Mind you, she has self-diagnosed him, and all he does is jump around the motel room. He's been caught eating paint chips off the wall because he is so understimulated. So instead of taking him to an indoor playground where he could jump around anywhere he wants, stays behind at the motel room with Drew, and she blames it on him being autistic. In my opinion, it was just too stressful for her to bring him, so she didn't, and she's gonna do what's best and easiest for her. Because she's perfectly fine leaving him behind to eat paint chips. And then she just made this post, and I find it really creepy. She's drawing a picture of God on her arm to keep her safe as she sleeps. Stephanie finds this really cute and charming, but in reality, it's really scary. What did these children think were going to happen to them while they're sleeping?
She actively talks about not taking her autistic kids to places. And this is something I want the audience to educate me on, because I do not have autism. So maybe I am uneducated in this area. But from what I've seen, you cannot just leave one child out when you take the rest for activities. And she continuously talks about how she will leave this one kid alone and take the rest out for activities because they do not like going somewhere. I don't necessarily know if I agree with this, because the kids I have seen with autism, the parents help them learn how to cope in places with those activities taking place, and help them learn how to cope and have strategies and mechanisms on how be able to be a part of a family and a functioning society, while also being able to cope with that. So, silencing headphones, stress balls, games, toys, things that they don't necessarily need to be left out, but there is a different direction that they can go that is more attuned to them. And it makes me really sad that there was this big family and this one kid being left out. I'm sorry. It is really, really sad to me. And I wonder how that child is feeling when they are left alone, when they are left out. Are they sitting there thinking, I am different, I am not worthy to be with my family? Because that's kind of the energy that they might get. You can't just leave one out because the one is different. And you saying, oh, they don't want to go there anyway is such a cop-out, because you should be able to teach your child just because you're different doesn't mean you need to be left out. Just because you're different doesn't mean you're not a part of the family. And just because you're different doesn't mean you don't have to be a part of society. You can make friends, spend time with your family, and have fun with all of us, but just at a different speed and a different way. But again, I want to express that I am not autistic, nor do I have autistic children. So let me know what you think in the comments. Would you leave your children at home? Would you take everyone else and just leave this one kid? Or would you try and find mechanisms on how they can all blend together while also meeting everyone's needs? I personally think that that is the way to go. And I know that Stephanie has a lot of children, and it might be really fucking hard to meet every child's needs, but that is what happens when you have children. And you actively had these children. You actively wanted more children. So why would you have children and not expect them to be all different individuals? They were all going to have different struggles, have different health concerns, have different minds. So if you're going to actively keep having kids, you need to actively prepare for the fact that you need to make it to where you can all work together as one when they have different needs and all of that. I just know that if I was that kid, I would feel just super left out and super sad. But then again, you guys let me know what you think in the comments on that one. So in my previous videos, I reiterated the question time and time again, why are they staying in a motel? And I also asked this question on another family I covered, the daddy and daughter dream team. Yeah, I stand by that shit. Why are you in a motel? Why are you in a motel? I know y'all's asses can afford it. Y'all are getting millions of views. Y'all are getting as much views as a puppy rolling in the grass. Y'all are getting views more. Y'all are getting an insane amount of views. Now, are you getting a lot of likes and positive engagement? Probably not, but can you blame us? You know, but engagement is still engagement at the end of the day. And so I was just confused. I'm like, why can't y'all asses move into a cheap little trailer? Why can you not do it? A cute little trailer, make it all up, you know, make it cute, make it, you know, accessible, whatever. I was so tired. I didn't understand. I did not understand. I didn't understand. But then a few of you commented and said, I'll tell you why, Bubs. Because the government, if you don't have like a house and your name isn't like on a lease, you get better government like funding. And I was like, ooh. But I am so confused. Like how you got government funding, you got Drew with his little DoorDash, probably in his little Kia Rio, his little clown car. You got ad revenue, lives, wish list. Like, girl, you could have bought a damn house by now. You could have bought a damn house and a few cars by now. What the hell? Where is the money going? I'm so curious, y'all. I'm so curious. I mean, and I know we just talked about, you know, them partaking in, you know, the devil's lettuce and all, but even that, how much you buying? Is Snoop Dogg up in your house? How much are you buying, y'all? I gotta tell you, I don't really make, I'm not really making money off YouTube. Actually, that's a lie. I did get monetized. And so I've made like $100. But, I haven't even got it yet. It's like stuck because on YouTube, you have to like wait for a pin. They send you like a pin to like confirm who you are, and then you put the pin in the computer. Or like on YouTube or something. But just seeing it there, I'm like, but I live on one wage in Melbourne, which is much more expensive than whatever, whatever up in Transylvania, you know what I'm saying? I just, girl, I cannot, unless you were like, what was that guy? Unless you're like Snoop Dogg, or is it Willie Nelson? Is it Willie Nelson or Nilly Nelson? I don't know. Unless you are like buying pounds a day. I am so confused still where the money's going. There are people out there who actually need the system to work for them and who don't give those benefits and who don't get to benefit from, our taxes. So I feel so bad. There's probably a war veteran out on the street not getting his health benefits, and Stephanie's over here fucking smoking ganja like there's no tomorrow. She's going to see Jesus. He's going to see Jesus because he's dying and doesn't have a damn leg from gangrene, and she's over here seeing Jesus in a different way. Okay, that's all I'm saying. In a recent stream, Stephanie and the child would be talking about how addicted this kid is to Matilda. I haven't really watched Matilda. I'm sure I've watched it, but I just don't remember shit. So I looked up Matilda. Matilda was getting abused by her parents, and her teacher saves her. And you guys will be like, that's reaching. And I get it. I get why you will think that's reaching. But the reason I don't think it's reaching is that my dad, like my bio dad, used to make me stay in the room for hours. He would turn my electricity off. He would take everything away. And he would censor, he tried to do a censor deprivation thing a lot. And I used to watch Harry Potter, and I loved the first one because I would always dream that I would get taken away, that my invitation would come, And it was just I found him so relatable. I swear, I would literally watch the movie and go, I feel you, dog. I feel you, homeboy. I get you. But at least you get to go to Hogwarts. I'm still stuck here. Where is my invitation? I want Dumbledore to go, you are my new elite employee. I really want that. So I that's why I'm like, there has to be correlation. There has to be correlation. I'm telling you, there's correlation there. She's hoping they're hoping one of their teachers comes and saves them. I'm telling you, there's correlation there. All right, well, another update and another rant done of the resilient Jenkins. Comment below if you're sick of these videos and you're ready to move on to something else, or let me know if you want to keep having these updates going on. I'll, again, put it in a playlist for you, so from now on, it's easier to follow the timelines and follow the thread. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day. Make sure you like, subscribe, and go follow me on my Instagram. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.